Hey y'all, this is Algebra Blessett, and this is the Boombox.
I don't want nobody but you. Don't want nobody touching me, baby.
I had a chance to listen to a few of the songs, and I noticed there's kind of a theme going on about love. So songs like Nothing But You and Right Next to You. So I wanted to know, was that something you went into the studio thinking about from the jump, or just something that came about while you were in the recording process?
Well, I think those two songs go like very well together. They're definitely love songs, and I think I was in love when I wrote that song. I was very much in love, but don't know about now. No, it's about that confession of love to your significant other and just reiterating how much you want to be with that person, and no one else really matters except for that person.
Right. Okay, so can you let us know about a little bit of other themes that you have going on the album?
Yes, it is the album is called Recovery because I'm an advocate of getting from one place in your life to the next, whether it's getting over heartache or just really being happy in one moment and then something amazing happens and you hit euphoria, and then it's like, I had no idea that I could be this happy. Right. So all of that is a process of recovery and really accepting where you are in the moment. There's a song on there called Writer's Block, and it's pretty much dedicated to every artist that I've ever met and artists that I love. Sometimes we get stifled for the everyday of having to be creatives, and sometimes you just don't know what to create anymore because you've done so much. And I just kind of look at that as a building block for the next thing that you're about to create, because we're so resourceful as artists, as hosts and writers and photographers and such. So you get to a point to where you just need to do something else to get inspired, and that's that's writer's block.
You work with two great producers. One is Brian Michael Cox and the other Eric Roberson. And I know you probably have a lot of great memories from those, so I want to know your studio time with them. Is there something that you could tell us, maybe kind of funny that happened, really memorable, maybe wild and crazy? I don't know what you guys do in the studio. You threw a party, there was a circus going on, let us know.
We had midgets and we had smoke machines and laser lights. No, well, there's a song on there called Mystery that was co-written by Eric Roberson. So we're in the studio. He had just built this studio. Everybody's building studios now. Right. So we're in the studio, and he's in a gospel group as well. And I'm sure that they warm up before they record and write. Me, I'm just like, let's just get to it.
Right.
And we're like, oh, let's warm up. It was early in the morning. I never really record in the morning, so it was like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So we're recording, and he just starts doing this movement with his mouth where his lips are vibrating and he's looking really weird. I just start doing it with him, so that's always fun, starts to itch. Also with Brian is he's such an artist himself. Mm-hmm. He's quirky, and we just we eat first and eat again and write, record, and then he expects for me to sing on a full stomach. Mm. So everybody has their way of, producing things. Right. So those are good memories with them.
Awesome. There's a lot of times when you have a grand idea of what your project is going to be, and sometimes those ideas don't always come to fruition. So it could be maybe a song that you wanted to sample, it didn't come to work out for you, or a big collaboration you wanted to happen. Is there anything like that happened to you with this album that didn't work out?
Yes, well, there are some songs that we wanted to put on the album, but we couldn't quite get the sound we wanted with it. But there are some records on here. It's a song that I did with Kwame called Road to Recovery. And we didn't know what to name the song. Mm-hmm. We didn't know whether, and it's interesting because this song ended up being the title of the album. We named the album Recovery, but the song Road to Recovery was so hip-hop oriented, big drums, and I'm like, I don't know that my voice will fit over this. And he was like, no, just do it. So we're writing, and at that moment in writing that song and recording it, that's when I decided to name the album Recovery, because it just kind of came. And I was very fearful of the track itself at first, and he just kind of motivated me to do it. And I was like, yeah, I can do it, I do this. And it ended up being the title track.
Tell me one thing that you learned about yourself while recording this album. I'm sure you learned many things, but one thing that really stood out for you.
I don't focus well. And I am all over the place all the time, because I want to do so much. I want to sing about so many things. But I learned discipline this album. I really did. The strategy I took as far as choosing who I wanted to work with. My first album that came out in '08, I worked with so many different people, and I met so many different people, so I kind of lost focus really easy on what sound I wanted. So it was my melting pot album. This particular album, I chose my 4 producers before I even started to put it together. So that was a big thing for me, to learn discipline and accept the fact that I have a vocal problem.
Got you. There's a song that has a singer and a rapper on it that was very surprising many years ago, which is Mariah Carey's Fantasy with Old Dirty Bastard. And just surprising for the fact of their union. You know, sometimes you look at Mariah Carey, you wouldn't necessarily think ODB would be the person she would pick to collaborate with because he's so wild and crazy. Is there a rapper that you would love to work with, kind of maybe on that level, or kind of surprising, you know, maybe would surprise your fans?
I don't think it would be a surprise. Well, yes, it would. Let me not say that. Per the sound that I have, per my delivery and such, it may be shocking to really collaborate with any rapper. You know, because I don't really convey the hip hop side as much. But in my everyday life, I can work with anybody, from a Mos Def to a Kendrick Lamar to a Drake, because I really enjoy hip hop. You know, and its many facets as well. Love Nicki Minaj, and she's a woman. She's figured out how to really prevail in a male-dominated genre of music, you know what I mean? So I think it's anyone I really enjoy. Young Jeezy, of course.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'd do a record with him. I don't know that I can't do this in the song, you know what I mean? Or, you know,
you're good.
Well, I can't do that in the video, in the song. But I'd be doing that in the studio, right? But then when the cameras turn on, I'm very,
Give me your
you know,
dainty,
I don't want nobody but you.